Hi, and welcome to another edition of Hardcap. This is day 3 in Sarasota, Florida, the mixed division. I'm Brian Jones here with Maya Ziv, our mixed correspondent. We had an exciting day filled with quarters, semifinals, and we're also going to take a look at finals tomorrow. Let's go back, though. Quarters, 8 teams trying to advance. What happened today?
So on one side of the bracket, which I actually didn't get to watch, we had Blackbird advance over Odyssey and Dragon Thrust advance over Cosa Nostra, so they faced up in one semis. But on the other side, we had some really exciting games. Chad Larson Experience faced Mischief. That was just absolutely amazing. Mischief played so well with big hucks downwind, so the wind played a huge role here. CLX tried to work it, but it wasn't working out too well for them. I was talking to some of the players after the game, and they said, playing in the Midwest, they know how to play in the wind. It just took them too long to rework their strategy. Meanwhile, Mischief was racking up the points, and they took that game. So on the other side, we had the 1 and 2 seeds, Polar Bears, facing off against the Ghost. Absolutely amazing. They were trading upwind breaks, which was rare for some of the games that we've seen today. And Polar Bears just were putting up some expert throws, but the Ghosts were able to fight right back. Jeff Graham had some amazing jumps up in the air to D the discs. Lucas Dahlman actually tried for a greatest, didn't complete it there, but he also had some amazing plays on defense. So Polar Bears actually pulled out that win. Really exciting for both teams. Sad to see the Ghosts go as the 2 seed, but that's how it goes in the mixed division. So in the semifinal then, we had Polar Bears matching up against Mischief.
So let's talk about that game. We get to the semifinals. We have incredible amount of wind today. It was hard for the open division to throw. How was it like in the mixed division?
Definitely. Well, the Mischief strategy of hucking and playing D didn't work out too well for them in the semifinal. The Polar Bears are just too good at throwing upwind. Mischief was giving them the disc back. Polar Bears ended up taking that game 15-7. Huge game for the Polar Bears. They brought it back. They were calm and focused, and they worked the strategy that they were good at. Mischief just couldn't keep up. They were truly just giving away the disc too frequently. And then in the other semifinal, we had Blackbird facing off against Dragon Thrust. Really exciting game as well. Blackbird went up early. They got the crucial first upwind break, and they stayed on top from then. They led by 2 going into the half. Actually, that was 3 breaks. So coming out of half, they scored again. They just drew a huge margin. I believe it was 10-6 at one point. Dragon Thrust couldn't keep up with them, and with some huge plays from Brian Garcia, Tyler Grant on defense for Blackbird, Blackbird was able to pull it out 15-9.
Brian Garcia, one of our starting 7 members, award winners this season from the mixed division. Blackbird's getting back to the finals. What can we expect to see out of that tomorrow?
Definitely. Blackbird versus Polar Bears. Rematch of last year's final. 2 teams from the NorCal section, Southwest region. Incredibly exciting for everyone at home, I'm sure, to keep an eye on that one. It'll be streamed by Next Gen tomorrow. We're going to see big plays in the air from Tyler Grant and Brian Garcia, like we mentioned already. Eli Janin has been huge for Blackbird with really interesting throws. He is just one of the most amazing throwers that I have seen this weekend. There's things that he puts up that the wind just doesn't affect, like amazing backhand breaks and some high releases even that just float exactly to his target. Andrew Hagan as well for Blackbird with some excellent throws and big plays in the air. So we'll see some athletic plays from those players on Blackbird. The rest of Blackbird's team is really solid. They just need to focus on not turning it over. When Blackbird doesn't turn it over, they are amazing. It's really hard to stop them. I'm not sure that Polar Bears have the defense to cause the turnovers. I think Blackbird will have a hard time, though, making sure that they stay focused. They've got a target on their back here, last year's champs. If I was Polar Bears, I'd be gunning for them the whole season, and this is the time to show that they've been working hard to beat them. So on the flip side, we've got Polar Bears. They have been playing better and better this whole tournament. They lost a couple games in the power pools, but they're back on top. They just, again, need to rely on their short throws. They can't get trapped in hucking it downfield and trying to come down with those wins. They're not going to against Blackbird's D. So I think if Polar Bears focuses on the in-cuts and lets the big players like Lucas Dahlman and Simon Higgins run free downfield, they will have a really good matchup with Blackbird's players.
So you talked about the men of the game. What about the women? What are the impactful women going to do in this game, and how are they going to represent both the Polar Bears and Blackbird?
Right, so for Polar Bears, Paige Kircher played absolutely amazing. Such great throws in the wind. I mean, she was playing as if there was no wind out there with great IO breaks especially. Also, Anchi Su had some huge layout grabs. She's been really active for the Polar Bears on offense here. And so I think if she stays healthy, she's been hurt a little bit in the series leading up to Nationals. So if she can stay healthy, Polar Bears have a great shot there.
So we just talked about the Polar Bear women and how they impacted the game. Let's talk about the Blackbird women.
Right, so June Strasenel played amazing for Blackbird. She had some really good plays in the air on D especially. We also saw some big plays from Karen Brimacombe. She's an excellent cutter. She does really well at getting open under. She has excellent jukes deep and then to come back under for the discs. We'll also see some big plays from Jen Schmerling. She plays mostly on defense, but she sets an amazing mark. I actually did not see her get broken too much today, so if she can put pressure on those Polar Bear throwers, we're going to see some difficult throws from Polar Bears to try to break her mark, but I think she might even put up some hand blocks tomorrow.
So you have Polar Bears winning it all. Is it going to be another Universe Point victory? What's the score going to be?
I believe we're going to see Polar Bears taking it 15-13. I think it's going to be close, but at the end, I think Polar Bears will get some good breaks upwind if the wind keeps up, or just some good breaks in general to take it.
So there you go. You should wake up early tomorrow to watch the mixed division. It promises to be another exciting game, just like last year's national final. Thanks to Maya Ziv, I'm Brian Jones. This is another edition of Hardcap here in Sarasota, Florida.